Hello, welcome friends. Today my topic of discussion is the difference between archaeology and genealogy. Archaeology versus genealogy. To understand the difference between archaeology and genealogy, we must first know both the concepts. In my previous video, I have discussed archaeology. Now we should know the genealogy shortly because I will discuss genealogy in details in separate video. Now coming to the point, what is genealogy? The word genealogy comes from two Greek words, one meaning race or family and the other theory or science. Thus, genealogy means to trace ancestry, the science of studying family history. Genealogy is a historical technique in philosophy. Genealogy questions commonly understood emergence of beliefs. Genealogy deals with philosophical and social beliefs. The goal of genealogy is to account for the scope, breadth, or totality of discourse. Genealogy extends the possibility of analysis. Genealogy differs from the Marxist use of ideology. Marxism explains historical discourse within a time period. Genealogy focuses on a singular or dominant discourse or ideology. Now I am going to discuss Michel Foucault on genealogy. What is Michel Foucault's view on genealogy? Foucault discussed genealogy in his essay Niche Genealogy History, published in 1977. Foucault's ideas of genealogy were greatly influenced by the work that Nietzsche had done on the development of morals through power. Foucault also describes genealogy as a particular investigation into those elements which we tend to feel without history. Those elements would include things such as sexuality and other elements of everyday life. Genealogy is not search for origins and is not the construction of a linear development. Instead, it seeks to show the plural and contradictory past that reveals traces of the influence that power has had on truth. Michel Foucault's thought on two terms, namely archaeology and genealogy, are important here. He uses those two terms to explain the formation of power, knowledge, and their reflection on the individual, discovering the ways in which an individual becomes a subject and object of power and knowledge. Now, I am going to discuss the difference between archaeology and genealogy. Archaeology versus genealogy. Archaeology focuses on the material remains of a past society and culture. Archaeologists usually go for digging and then look for artifacts, monuments, and architecture, which give a clue as to what society was once like. Genealogy, on the other hand, is about individuals concerning themselves to their ancestors and family. Genealogy is also concerned with history, but focuses of genealogy is on family history. Genealogy is about individuals tracing their family's lineage by collecting information such as birth record, death records, marriage licenses, wills, census data, and more. Foucault's remark on the difference between archaeology and genealogy are generally vague and confusing. The tools Foucault uses to practice both methods are the same. To Foucault, if archaeology deals with a point where we figure out differences and similarities, then it is a level where things are arranged to make knowledge easier to handle. On the other hand, the stakes are much higher for genealogy. Genealogy is about the same basic information and customs. It is seen as a stage where the difference between what is true and false is determined through methods of power. On the other hand, archaeology works to understand how artifacts fit together in a historical moment. On the other hand, genealogy works to figure out what kind of people would fit into that set of artifacts. Foucault's genealogies are generally based on archaeological type studies. He examined a cross-section of artifacts and then asked questions like what kind of people would live in such a way? How did people perceive themselves in the world considering those objects and knowledge system? Thank you, friends. In the next video, I will discuss Foucault's another concept, arts of existence or techniques of the self. Hope to see you in the next video.